Secrets hotels hide from guests. Hotels are supposed to feel like a home away from home. The crisp white sheets, the cozy pillows, the scent of fresh coffee drifting in from the lobby. It all feels welcoming. But behind that friendly smile at the front desk and the polished look of the place, there are so many little secrets hotels would rather we didn't know. And once we start peeling back those layers, the whole picture gets a lot more interesting. So today, let's talk about those secrets. Things hotels keep quiet about, things we might never notice as guests, and those hidden details that can totally change the way we look at a perfect stay. The illusion of perfect cleanliness. When we walk into a hotel room, the first thing we usually notice is how spotless everything looks. The bed is made with sharp corners, the bathroom sparkles, and not a single piece of dust seems to be out of place. But here's the thing. What looks clean isn't always truly clean. Hotels operate on tight schedules. Housekeeping often has just a few minutes to flip a room for the next guest. That means some surfaces get wiped down quickly, while others are left untouched for days, sometimes even weeks. Think about items like the TV remote, the curtains, the headboard, or that little information booklet on the desk. Those things don't always make the must-clean checklist every day. Yet they're touched by dozens, maybe hundreds of people over time. And then there's the bedding. Sure, the sheets are changed, but the bigger items, the comforter, the throw pillows, those decorative cushions, often aren't washed nearly as often as we'd like to believe. They might just get a quick fluff to look fresh. So while we're curling up under what feels like a perfectly clean blanket, we're actually sharing space with a lot of unseen guests from the past. The price game we don't see. Hotels are masters at playing with pricing. What we pay for a room often has very little to do with what it's actually worth. Prices shift constantly based on demand, season, events happening in the city, or even our browsing history. If we've looked up the same hotel a few times, chances are the price mysteriously creeps up. Hotels also know how to disguise hidden costs. Resort fees, service charges, overpriced minibar snacks, parking fees. These extras are where a big chunk of money comes from. And the truth is, many of these charges are for things that don't actually cost the hotel much, if anything at all. That so-called resort fee might just cover access to the pool or Wi-Fi, things we'd expect to be included anyway. And here's another secret. Booking directly through a hotel's website might not always save us money, despite what they tell us. Sometimes third-party sites get special deals. At the same time, hotels love direct bookings because it saves them from paying commission to those sites. So they might make it seem like we're getting the lowest rate guaranteed, but in reality, it's just another layer of the game.
Upgrades aren't always about luck. We've all heard stories of people being surprised with a free upgrade at check-in. Maybe they went from a standard room to a suite, and it felt like pure luck. But behind the scenes, upgrades aren't always so random. Hotels keep track of guest profiles, loyalty status, and even past behavior. If someone has complained before, they might get a little extra attention the next time. If someone books often or spends more money, the hotel may reward them with a better room. And sometimes it's about availability. If standard rooms are overbooked, they'll move guests up, but they'll frame it like a special treat. It feels great in the moment, but the truth is, those surprise upgrades often benefit the hotel just as much as us. That friendly smile at the front desk. The people who greet us at the front desk seem warm, welcoming, and genuinely happy to help. And many of them really are. But what hotels don't tell us is that staff are often trained to watch us closely. They're not just checking us in, they're sizing us up. Are we polite? Do we look tired from a long trip? Are we traveling for business or leisure? All of that information can shape the way they interact with us. For example, if they think we're a business traveler who might come back often, we might get a little extra attention. If they think we're just passing through for one night, well, we might not get the same effort. It's all part of creating an experience that feels personal, but is really very calculated. The minibar mystery. Now, let's talk about minibars. You've probably noticed how ridiculously overpriced those little bottles and snacks are. But what's less obvious is how some hotels monitor them. Many minibars these days are stocked with sensors. Move a bottle of water for just a few seconds, and it might trigger a charge, even if we didn't drink it. And of course, hotels know most guests will avoid touching the minibar because of the price. But they keep it stocked anyway because it adds to the feeling of luxury, and because the few who do give in end up paying way more than the item is worth. The Wi-Fi trick. We've all seen it. Wi-Fi listed as free in the hotel description, but when we get there, it's not really free at all. Maybe the basic version is slow, so slow it can barely load an email, while the premium version costs extra. Hotels also sometimes collect data from how we use their Wi-Fi, whether it's browsing habits or just tracking how long we're online. It's not always used in shady ways, but the truth is, free Wi-Fi is rarely as simple as it looks. Maintenance secrets. Here's something hotels really don't like us knowing. Not everything in a room is as functional as it looks. Sometimes things are broken or half-fixed, but as long as it's not obvious, it's left that way until someone complains. That air conditioning unit that hums a little too loudly, the shower that never quite gets hot enough, or the lock on the balcony door that sticks. Those things might be on the list, but unless a guest brings it up, it might not get attention right away. After all, fixing things costs money, and as long as the room is technically usable, hotels often delay repairs. Food and room service realities. Ordering room service feels special, like the hotel is bringing the restaurant straight to us. But here's the not-so-glamorous side. Not all of it actually comes from the fancy hotel kitchen. In some cases, hotels outsource food to nearby restaurants or pre-make certain items to reheat later. And while the menu prices are already inflated, the service fees and delivery charges make the meal cost almost double what it would in a normal restaurant. The tray might arrive with a silver lid and a smile, but behind the curtain, it's often less fine dining and more convenient reheating.
The mystery of lost and found. Ever wondered what happens to the items guests leave behind? Phones, chargers, jewelry, even clothes. It happens all the time. Officially, hotels are supposed to log and store lost items for a certain period, but in practice, things sometimes disappear. Staff might claim they never found anything, or items might quietly go unreported. It depends on the hotel's policies and, honestly, the honesty of whoever cleans the room. So if we forget something valuable, there's no guarantee it will make its way back to us. The image versus reality. And finally, one of the biggest secrets hotels keep, the difference between what we see online and what we actually get. Photos are often taken when the hotel is brand new or freshly renovated. Wide-angle lenses make rooms look bigger. Professional lighting makes spaces seem brighter, and sometimes certain flaws are cropped out of the shot. By the time we arrive, the carpet might be a little worn. The pool might not sparkle as much as in the photos, and the ocean view might really just be a sliver of water visible if we lean out the balcony. Hotels know how to market themselves beautifully, but the reality can be very different. Closing thoughts. So, what does all of this mean for us as guests? It doesn't mean we should stop staying in hotels. After all, most hotels do try to offer a comfortable experience, and many staff members work really hard behind the scenes. But it's worth